Okay, good morning everyone. Oh, afternoon actually, it's just gone midday. Here we are at the Australian Computer Museum in Sydney. I'm Adrian, and today, that's not the real phone, is it? Today I'm going to be building this little radio kit that I picked up off Aliexpress, and I'm going to be using the ACMS's nice little soldering station to do it. Okay, so I've actually got two, because there is an extra trick to these. If I get around to building to it, we'll see how long they take. Hoping it's not going to be too complicated. There we go. Okay, so we get a nice little Perspex case. We get all the metal fittings, including for the battery compartment, and even a little screwdriver, which is very kind of them. Surprisingly generous, these AliExpress kit producers. Okay, what have we got? We've got a very little, it's just an OLED screen, but it's got some pin headers, so that's okay. Last week I had a go at doing an oscilloscope kit, but I needed to actually do, I'll turn this around a bit so you can see me better. Needed to do SMD soldering on a tiny microcontroller IC, and I just completely cocked it up and was no good at all. Okay, we've got USB-B micro power cord there. So slightly old-fashioned power cord, but should be okay. This is nice. The PCB already has all the SMD parts on it, so that's going to save me a bit of hassle because I'm not good with SMD. I don't have special gear for it, and my hands are not sufficiently steady to, to do it by hand. When I've tried to, it's just turned into a blob. So let's go. This into this little holder here. Should I do it this way? I'll do it the right way as well. Got the room. So I think by extending this out more, it's actually going to make it easier. Yeah, that I'll be able to turn it upside down without banging the thing. Otherwise that will get stuck when I try to turn it. Okay. This way. That's really better. All right. Next up, have a look at the instructions. Okay, bilingual instructions. Got English and Chinese here. So, shouldn't be that difficult to do because, as I said, they've already done all the SMD parts for me. So that saves me a lot of hassle because I'm not good with those. Should be able to get away with just using this normal soldering iron. Nice thing with the soldering station is it heats up very quickly, gets to the right temperature very easily. One of the guys is playing around with our dial-up phone network, so I keep hearing the phone ring, but I'm pretty sure it's not actually people calling this episode. Okay, we've got lovely little collection of parts. Okay, got a few little capacitors here, a few buttons. There's actually not much to do. Again, I guess because the SMDs have been done already. Okay, we've got someone said hi. But I don't really mind. I'd rather not do that myself. So I'm kind of glad it's like that. So, number one. on this little clock crystal. It's saying it's at 32, is it 30 kilohertz or something different. Okay. I'm going to get our solder. Very nice. Yep, perfect. I just realised I've forgotten to get my snippers. I'll go get them. Here we go, snippers, ready to snip. Okay, back over. Sort of USB socket. It's not the USB socket, this is the USB socket. Where's this going to go? Down there. Oh, right where I've... Probably don't need this, it's actually not that big a job, so I'm just going to take it out and do it freehand. Sort of semi SMD this piece, and there's pads and the things don't go through the hole. Shouldn't be too hard though because it's just two fairly chunky bits of wire there. I've got to solder on these flat pads. So let's give her a go. Nice. Something very satisfying when you're soldering here and you get your little blob of solder there all over the wire, and then you take your iron away and it just kind of goes cloudy and you go, oh, yep, that's good. There we go. Okay, 3. Solder 100 microfarad electrolytic capacitors, which I believe these are all the same, yeah? 100. 100. 100. Excellent. It's going to save a bit of hassle. Where are these guys going to go? Okay. Being electrolytics, of course, just got to put them the right way around. One. So yeah, not having to do the more complicated bits shouldn't take too long, so I think I will be able to do both of them. So apparently these have some kind of walkie-talkie or intercom function where if you have two, they can talk to each other. So I thought that'd be fun for the kids to play with. So let's get into it. Sorry if you can't see too well what's going on here. I've only got the one camera. And, probably try to find a better way to position it so that you can see from straight above. Right now I'm just using a regular tripod. I'm sure there's some kind of little like handy tripod for taking craft and soldering videos and things. This is the thing with the ACMS, is that we're all volunteers. Everything here is either stuff that we've brought in or stuff people have donated to us. No, that's okay. Next, solder terminal blocks, those being these little white things here. There we for the speaker, one for the battery. And literally just pop them in, solder them on. It's a very nice little kit. Quite thoughtfully designed, I think. You know, it'd be easy for kids to build one of these. Actually had a go at teaching my son to solder last week with a different kit, just a little light up spinner thing. He did okay with it. He didn't have much patience though when we were putting the bits in. Every time I took my eyes off him, he just picked up the soldering iron and started burning bits of wood with it. So, it's kids, isn't it? But he actually was able to do a good job with the soldering, and his device worked afterwards. So I hope that's going to be the start of, you know, an interest in doing this. We'll have to see. Okay, solder the microphone. 3 horizontal lines, the microphone pins are negative. Okay. Yep, okay, I can see we've got positive and negative. So it's going to go in like this. Okay, just pop a little feed out and get into it. Go. Okay. All right. So one of the more delicate parts, but shouldn't be a delicate operation. Because we've only got to do 4 pins here, so just poke this in here. Or not? Why is it not going through? Okay, resisting the temptation to just push them in with my thumb, because I know that I'll end up with 4 little holes in my thumb. Okay. So what do you want? I mean, it would make sense really to use like a header or something, you know, like a removable header for this, but I don't know, I guess it's only 4 pins and there's nothing underneath it, so I shouldn't really need to take it out unless like the screen itself broke. So it's just a very simple, what is it? I think it's SPI, is that what it's called? The little serial thing that you use with microcontrollers to run peripherals. Okay. Check down there. Okay. And we've got to solder these 4 pins on. Nice. I suppose I'll chop these off. Really short, but still. Oh! The shorter they are, the more they fly around. Okay. Solder the toggle slide switch. Here we go, just on and off. Okay, so again, it's really not much to this construction. This would be a good sort of kit for people to practice on if you're not confident with soldering. Maybe not if you're an expert like me. No, I'm actually not that great. turn it on off, that's good. Now, I need to solder 4 of these little buttons on. Okay, number 2. Alright, so we're putting these little tack switches in. 2 more to go. Okay, and these ones have got quite long things there, I guess, so that you can, they're probably going to poke out the front of this case that's supplied. Okay, so basically just going along and soldering all these little tack switches one at a time. Brilliant. Another piece of solder, that one's going to be too short. Just putting these switches on now. And only a few more bits to go actually. We'll just do the antenna. Some battery connectors and a speaker to connect. Okay. Yeah. Buttons there. Solder spring. Antenna. Where does this go? Oh, it's going to stick out the top. It's going to look very cute. Insert the antenna from the bottom. Okay, that makes sense. There we go. Okay, and this might take a while. It's quite a big bit of metal there, so we'll see. I think it's doing all right. Very nice. Okay. And now we begin assembling the case so that we can get those little battery terminals in. I like that they gave us a tiny little screwdriver. That's very nice of them. This one. Go in a bit more. Seems like it doesn't want to though. Okay, put the other end over here. So positive terminal up there, negative up there, and then we're going to put in these little fellows. There we go. And this one's going to go over here. Oop. Yep. And it looks like just friction is going to keep those. Oh, actually, no, I think I'll bend these over. All right. We'll hold those in. Yep. So we're not getting a very good view here, are we? I'll move the camera in a bit. There we go. That's probably a bit better. Can I zoom? I can, but I can't pan it. There we go. That might give you more of an idea what I'm doing. Okay, now we've got to attach this wire onto these battery terminals. There's no strain relief on this, so I've just got to basically just solder them on. Okay. Ugh. Something I don't like doing. Got to solder this wire onto this thing, and then somehow get the solder onto it at the same time. I guess we'll try to heat this up, stick a bit of solder onto it. Problem is, of course, this is sticking straight through the acrylic case, and so if I heat it up too much, it's just going to melt the plastic. I don't want that, because then it's just going to fall out. So I've got to be quick. Okay, and yep, that's stuck on. I think I'll repeat that process for this end. Heat you up. And solder in. And it's kind of a three-hand job otherwise. Okay, and melt that. Warm the wire into it. A second. Okay, that's stuck on. Brilliant. Okay, this is going to go on the back, isn't it? Right, so, and just where that says bat, plug her in. Very nice. So we've now got our battery compartment attached to the PCB. Okay. This teeny little speaker here. Same thing. Okay. This is marked as positive and negative, so we'll obey these instructions. And soldering is one of those things that when you do it right, it feels really good. When you do it wrong, it's incredibly frustrating. Like that. Okay, that's all right. Just get in there. Hold that wire still. And there we go. Okay, that's connected. All right, that should actually be the end of the soldering. So let's be safe and turn this off. Okay, light is off. Right, now, connect to the speaker. Got all these parts. Now this has got to go in here. And it's just going to kind of press in. Yep. Okay. This is going to go. Looks a bit messy with all these, but it's okay. We'll just do that. There's wires sticking around the sides there. Have I done something wrong there? I think I have. Let's go this. Of course, it doesn't go that way. Oh, I put it upside down. Now it makes sense. Why is this all backwards? How's that? Is that better? Okay, yep, there we go. And it looks like there's a cutout for a headphone plug, one bit there, which it's not actually, it's not part of the thing. Okay, I'm just going to go and grab some batteries. Alright, we've got some AAAs. Put them in the battery compartment. 1, 2, and 3. Power on. Okay. It's not great. Power off. I feel like it should do something, right? Okay, what have we done wrong? Maybe time to bust out the multimeter, because I'm not seeing any signs of life through that. Oh wait, look, now it's lighting up. Cool beans. Here we go, look at this. Got some sound. Are we going to get any channels? Oh, lovely. Getting some music out of our little homemade radio. That's good. Okay, let's just put all the parts. Oh crap. Oh, okay, looks like there's presets. Who knows what country they're preset for, not this one. Can I get all this in here with these wires? Yep. Lovely. I'm going to leave this soothing music on while I screw these bits together. Okay, so I think that install the casing and secure it with self-tapping screws. I think that I want to have both halves like this. Okay, cool. Yep. And then put the screws in through the back there. Wonderful.
Themselves describe that as being like a mind-lit night. It shows in the music, doesn't it? Going chapter number 1, the second movement. I'm in heaven listening to this. Roger Woodward with the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, known as morning for ABC Classic. And that piece of music by Mr. Tickle, otherwise known as Johann Sebastian Bach. I'm just coming up with that analogy for you, because there's incredible capabilities on on the keyboard. I mean,
it's not working.
you're about to hear a trio sonata.
They're generally working. Just one of these screws is not getting in. Oh, I think I got it now.
The codes of practice cover matters relating to program content that are of concern to
Alright,
the community.
put it in the battery cover.
News, current affairs, Australian music content, programs for children,
And either they've given us a... Sorry mate, I'm going to turn you off. Either they've given us a spare screw or I've messed something up. I think they gave us a spare screw. They're actually pretty good about this sort of stuff, these Aliexpress kit guys. They often do give you spare parts and things, which is kind of nice. Okay, and then we're just going to put a few little hats on these buttons. Okay, I like they've been kind of generous with the size of the button holes on the front there. I did a calculator kit once and I soldered all the buttons on, and then when I put the front cover on I realized that I've made a bit of a mistake because yeah, cool, that's really nice. Yeah, because then the buttons wouldn't go on, but this one working well. Oh no, do you know what I've done? I just realized I forgot to take the plastic off the screen, and now I've got to take all the screws out to do that. So let's do that. Why screws are better than glues, because if you forget to do something inside your iPhone when you're putting it together, you'll never be able to take it apart again, will you? Okay, and just going to very carefully peel that off and put it back in position. Yep, everything's lined up again. I mean, that's supposed to have made a big difference really. It's actually pretty clear, that screen protector, but you know, may as well do it now. I'd never get round to doing it again. So there we go. So very simple. Oh, it's really nice. Works well. And yeah, there is a trick with this where apparently if you have two, you can use them like walkie-talkies, which is lucky that I've got two. Anyway, I'm going to cut the video off here and I'll build the second one off camera and then I'll see if it works. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching. I've been Adrian at the Australian Computer Museum, and we'll see you next time. Bye.